Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody. It's Tom from Came to Believe Recovery, and welcome to the Friday weekly version of Recovery Live. Hope everybody's had a great start to September, and schools have started here in the U.S. and a lot of change as we head into the fall season. It's great to be here today. We have a couple events coming up in September. We got retreat this weekend in Nevada City. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. Um, Wait for some of our UK attendees to show. Let's see. Uh, uh, the passing of the Queen this yesterday is really big news, and our hearts are with our colleagues over there in the UK, really in the rest of the world with the passing of the Queen. It's a huge issue for the entire world. Hi, Anna, and hi, Tom Clancy. You guys have joined us quickly on this today. I'm wearing my Living in the Go shirt today, and that's what we're going to be talking about. Tom was with us in Indiana when Alicea and I did a workshop on Living in the Go, which was really an extensions of 10, 11, and 12. We're going to talk a lot about what we do once we come out of retreat or finish taking the steps, and how do we live day to day with this new life that we've been given. With that being said, today my guest is all the way from Meadow Vista, California, the one and only Alicea Martinez.
Ta-da!
Hey, Alicea.
Look, I'm in orange too, but I cut mine,
Yeah.
which Tom does not like.
Well, it's not that I don't like it, guys, but Alicea tells everyone else to cut
I
theirs.
don't tell them. They see me and say, I love that. And then I say, I have scissors. Let's go.
Yeah. Well, the ones that Carrie Toon did in
They're
Indiana,
amazing. And I can't wait till she does some for me.
she cuts them all
Guys,
to
she
pieces.
cut across, like Christ cross on the back. And then she did like funky, really cool. I need to learn how to do that. Tom's not impressed.
Not
The girls
impressed.
are like, yeah.
So with Living in the Go, Alicea and I, guys, will be in Nevada City next weekend, with the retreat up there. And we want to let you know, guys, there's still some openings, and we do have some financial aid still available. There's probably 10 or 15 $100 financial aid grants available. So if you're listening and you're in the California area right now, in the Northern California area, and you're thinking of going, please reach out to us. There is some financial aid, and we'd love to help you if you need it to come and hear the life-saving message.
Yeah,
And
that covers a lot.
Right. It's almost half. Right. And the weekend is life-changing, and it's really going to be good. And I think we're going to change up some of the way the program is going to go. We'll talk a little bit more of that, like, as we get going. Hi, Wesley from Kentucky. See,
Kentucky.
we have Kentucky in the background today, guys. Is Casera running banners and the show? Lisa's also in the background. So we're fully supported today with our team. And you guys remember, Schoolies Mountains coming up October 7th through 9th. You get to meet Lisa if you come. It's getting to be like a thing.
They don't think she exists.
I was talking to BJ today, and she said, Lisa's going to be there, right? She's going to be there, right? And I said, yes, she is. And what about Casera? I said, no, you have to come to another one to meet Casera. But and we're gaining some numbers with the Schoolies Mountain one. It's going to be a nice. It's always been small, but it's going to be valuable. A lot of newcomers coming, so it should be great. And then, of course, we'll be in the Bronx in November. And guys, Alicea, we got the Legacy Guide translated into Spanish.
That's amazing.
So
yeah, but then if there's typos or anything, how are we going to know? We have people for that, right?
We have people, right? Okay. Our people. Well, I was speaking to one of our retreat attendees who came to the virtual retreat during COVID, Ashley. And he actually did a video for us, guys. So Ashley, he's on our YouTube. So if you want to go look and see him, and he really got lit on fire with this. So I was speaking to him this morning. He's in Spain, Ibiza. Someone's going to correct me. The little island.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Because they have like dance trance concerts out there. That's the only reason why I know that.
And he says he is absolutely fluent in Spanish. So we may bring him over, may see if he can come over and help us in the Bronx when we go out there. And Alicia and I will be there too, doing this very first event for a rescue mission shelter in the South Bronx in New York City. It's going to be really important.
Look, it's Christina's 4-year sober anniversary this month.
On the 22nd. Right. Golf club. Right. Sunny May. Doc Roth. Doc, hey Doc, how are you? All right. I have a survey today. All right, everybody that's on. Also, let's start early. Remember, #recovered gets you a shot at a shirt. So #recovered, start putting them in now. Lisa will be watching, or Casera, to get those numbers up. I have a survey. All right. I was talking to the girls before we went on, and Lisa was drinking a pumpkin spice something.
Oh boy.
And I contend, just like I contend no Christmas lights till after Thanksgiving, my contention is you cannot drink the pumpkin spice things until after Halloween. What do you guys vote? Before Halloween, can we drink the pumpkin spice things now, or do you have to wait to make it more special? So put your votes in our comment box. Just say,
I say September is okay, but if they move it to August.
So you see, there's a problem when one of your advocates of the before Halloween is your production
September, October, November, December,
right?
And then it's gone, and then you get excited, and at least you have 4 months of that and peppermint mocha.
Pumpkin anytime. All right. Well, we got to have some fun. I think you can't. It makes it more special. You can't just have pumpkin all the time.
But it's only another month. It's not all the time. But do they have it all year round?
No, they just started. Melissa's with us. Hi, Melissa. Sorry about the Queen. I've been reading a lot about that today. I was waiting for you to come on. I know Melissa posted something.
Is anybody answering you about that pumpkin spice?
You all just want, well, Lisa, of course.
Lisa is all about it. Oh, Anna.
Well, it's all about you, Anna. I know.
I think
pumpkin
they make
whenever you
money.
want.
They do make more money when they like only put it in here because it makes us buy it more because we know it's going to disappear. Right? It's a marketing ploy.
It's a marketing ploy
that we fall into every time.
So we'll keep asking for the pumpkin. So far, I'm losing like horribly.
Whenever on the pumpkin spice, whenever, but the tree can't go up until
All right. So you're half. Half. All right. Well, this is the kind of stuff we get to do now that we're sober and recovered. We can worry about when we're having our pumpkin spice, right?
Right.
Which was
a happy problem.
It's a happy problem, right?
Pumpkin spice tacos. Thomas Clancy said, "What is that?" I don't know about that one. Put pumpkin.
Yeah, my entire thought process about Thomas has changed.
In the meat, I guess.
Yeah, pumpkin spice.
That could be what? Allspice and meat.
And Anna Louise says pumpkin tacos. Like, what's up with that?
I never heard of that. Must be a good new thing. New to me.
Oh, and Tim Lewick, we got to ban him. He says, "Hi, Tom, go Rays."
What's that?
It's a anti-Yankee thing.
Oh. Christmas every day, Doc Roth.
Oh, see, everybody, I've lost this. This was the
He
wrong
lost.
thing
He
for me to
probably
do.
knew that was going to happen. Pumpkin spice pancakes, pumpkin spice, all the things.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like on their side, but I don't even drink it because it's all sugar. So, but I'm
Right.
still on their side. I like pumpkin candles. Does that count?
All right, back to business. So, guys, remember if you're in California, come see Alicia and I next weekend. We'll be up there with others. Dale Marsh is going to be with us and others as we present the program. And a couple of weeks later, we're going to be here in New Jersey in October 7th through 9th at Schoolies Mountain. If you're in the New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania area, come. Again, we'll be sharing the program. Actually, BJ Rapp, one of the writers of the Legacy Guide, will be up to help us present the program, and you get to meet Lisa and spend some time. Very special. A couple weeks after that, we'll be in the Bronx. It's not open to the public, but we're certainly going to keep you posted on how well we're doing as we go into the Bronx at this shelter for the first time to share the message with some really down and out people, and this whole effort towards reaching people that speak Spanish. So great. It's going to be a great, I guess you call it a beta test. It's not really a beta test because we've done this so many times, but the Spanish part is.
Do we know the logistics of that? I don't know if you want to get into that right now. Of like, they'll be in another room and seeing us, but hearing the Spanish translation?
Well, at the moment, I don't think we're actually going to even end up being able to do that, Alicia. The equipment involved and the technology, we just aren't at that place yet.
Okay.
So probably what we're going to do is we're going to have the Spanish legacy guides, and we're going to do the best we can. And if we have
and in small groups,
right,
when they can go. Okay, that makes sense.
Right, Dara, and if like Ashley came and all, we could use them. And Dara has a friend. We'll work that, I think.
Okay.
I am actively working on some fundraising, and Lisa and I have been looking at equipment. It's a lot to do with who has enough time to go test it and get it ready too.
Yeah.
And it might come together at the last minute. I'm also going to check with Father Ignatius about how many really strictly only Spanish people are coming. And this one may be the test of it. And the next one, we do it with all of them. But what we are going to probably do is not just have the people from the shelter, but we're going to open it up to the local community. And it's a commuter retreat. It's one where you come and then go home and come.
Okay.
To see if we can get a few more numbers. Because there is a bigger building. I'd love to get 20 or 30. Well, there'll be 25 guys from the shelter. So maybe up to 40 through the program.
And it will be men, most likely.
No, we're going to be men and women.
Oh, okay.
Because he's going to bring some of the women. They have a sister shelter, is that right? Of women. And so he's probably going to let some of the women come in. I mean, I asked him if it was a problem to have women like leaders. And he said, oh, no. Bring definitely.
Okay.
Because, these guys and like everyone, we have to live in the world. So we have to live amongst men and women. As bad as us men are, we need,
You are bad. Jamie West says, I know a little Spanish. So Jamie, what is a little mean?
I mean, so do I. Hola.
I know a little. But I would not be able to run a small group with Spanish people. But maybe she knows enough to help us.
So you guys might be wondering why Alicia and I are wearing Living in the Go shirts today. Now, you have heard us talk about this before. It's what we call living 10, 11, and 12, right? Go, moving forward, changing our lives, growing. But what does that really mean, and how does it look, right, Alicia?
Yes.
So Alicia and I began working on a workshop called Living in the Go, Living Healthy Life.
Have we done it twice? Missouri and then Indiana.
Yeah, right? We kind of did it twice. Yeah.
We honed it down and changed it, but we've done it twice now.
Because what we hear a lot from people is, now what? When Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday comes, and breaking habits, creating new routines is difficult. And when people come back and they feel like their old habits come right back, then they get the old idea that step 7 didn't work. Or did it really work? And it most certainly did. And we're going to talk a little bit about this today and why, how we can help and how we want to help you guys. And we'd love for some questions too as we get going here, and some of your own
Right.
experiences with how you've coped with or made change, real change in your life since being sober, because that's what the program calls for. And we're going to read a few things out of the Legacy Guide, which is out of the big book, right, that talks about it. So Alicea and I did this workshop specifically in Indiana, and Tom Clancy sat through it. And it was really very well received, and people were very, very interested in hearing about just kind of an extension on what was taught in 10, 11, and 12, but with some really practical ideas about how to actually make some change in our life. And it was interesting, Alicea, I was reading in step 11 today, where it talks about, God gave us brains, we should use them. As far as we've got the power behind him, but we got to go out and do some things to change. So I was encouraged by the workshop, and I know you were too, right, Alicea?
I was. And it was good to see. I mean, many of them were taking notes and very interested in that kind of stuff. And I love how it's not only for recovery related stuff. I say that all the time when I'm teaching. It helps in real life, though recovery is real. But in that life, in your home life, in your nutrition and wellness and relationships and money and 10, 11, 12 is for everything. It's not just recovery stuff. And then there's so many other things like that come up with that mindset and excuses and all the things that I know we're going to get into and ask the audience for feedback on.
So let's start with that. I'm going to read a couple things from the Legacy Guide, and this is under the category of what living in the go is supposed to mean for us. What we get, right, by becoming recovered, becoming freed from our addiction, and what did the program promise us, right? And what should we be working for? So step 9, BJ loves this, Alicea. It's from page 77 of the big book, guys. It says this: at the moment, we are trying to put our lives in order. Right there, it's already starting with what is this really about? And we really, I always say this at retreats. Alicia's heard me say it. A lot of us, what we really just wanted was to be successful at life. We just had so much. Always the phone had so much.
What is that?
Failure in every aspect, and we just wanted to see some success. It says, but this is not an end in itself, right? Our real purpose is to fit ourselves to be of maximum service to God and the people about us. So that's interesting, right? So our real purpose is to fit ourselves to be maximum service to God and the people around us. So if I'm going to fit myself to be of maximum service to God and the people around me, at least I knew I had to change some things. I had to grow. I had to take on new routines and habits, and I had to have something to give somebody, right? So how did I do that after I left? How did I break my bad habits and routine? Now that I had the power, I had a new manager. I'd had the defects, the core removed from me. How did I do that? We're going to talk about that. Then in step 10, it says, we vigorously commenced this way of living. So now we're talking about we're launching out on a way of living, guys. We've entered the world of the spirit now. Our next function is to grow in understanding and effectiveness. So it's saying in step 9 that we want to be of maximum service to God and to the people about us. but we need to grow into understanding and effectiveness. We got to continue to watch out for our defects of character so that when they come up, we crush them right away and keep moving, which is the mistakes, right?
Yeah. And not beat ourselves up, and be in community and learn that there's no perfect, because I fall into that camp of like, well, if 7 worked, why would this keeps coming up and this keeps coming up? And I have to remind myself it's a process. We need to practice these things forever and keep going, and right, be in service to others too, and help other people.
Whoa.
What is going on over there?
My ring light took a dive, guys.
Your phone, your light.
I'm a mess today. I guess you should have had pumpkin spice something.
Tacos. I might eat those. There's no sugar in that.
So pumpkin tacos. So the big book is telling us that there is more to this, right? We're supposed to be doing stuff. We're supposed to be living what we call living in the go. So what does it mean in the areas of our life that we're talking about? All right. So we're growing spiritually. We're letting God touch us. But then in step 11, it even says, I was saying that to Alicia before. It says, on awakening, we think about 24 hours ahead. We consider our plans for the day. Before we begin, we ask God to direct our thinking, especially asking it be divorced from self-pity, dishonest, and selfish seeking motives. Under these conditions, we can employ our mental faculties with assurance. After all, God gave us brains. So they also said, we're going to commence a way of living. We're going to grow in understanding and effectiveness, and we got to be of maximum service, but we need to employ our mental faculties. God gave us brains to use them. So our heads are clear. We have a new manager. He's guiding our thoughts. We're watching for the red light, green light. Boy, we're going really fast, guys. Right?
Remember all that? We taught that.
Right. And we begin to make change. We begin to let this walk in our life. What are we supposed to change, Alicia? Like what?
Everything.
Yes.
All of it. All the things. No. Yes, but no. Right? I mean, I feel there's so many. It depends on where you're starting from. What do you want to change? What's standing out for you? Maybe for me, it's relationships, communication, stepping in that fear, going to meetings and sharing. That's kind of my deal right now. But 4 years ago, it was food and nutrition and exercise and slow down. And now I got that. It comes back, but now it's relationships. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it could be but all areas, everybody can say they have somewhere to improve. And if they don't say that, they're lying. I would say, wouldn't you?
I would totally say that.
I mean, there's no way that even if we're like doing awesome and everything, we can still improve.
What does the Romans say? We are transformed, we are renewed by the transforming of our mind.
Right, which is our mindset and our thoughts, because those.
Right. So we're going to go there in a minute. Now, I like this what Christina says, and I'm sure that she probably means this, but Christina says, make God your number one priority before, during, and after every day. I'm totally on board with that. And I'm going to get in trouble.
Might be like, what do you do? What does that mean?
Right. The priority, but then him guiding us, I think, for me, is I say, all right, God, what do I do today? But then I do employ my mental faculties. And I go out and use tools that exist in the world. And I make use of my time and electronics and use of what I'm doing. Because if I sit home and just say, God, you'll take care of me today. Well, he takes care of those, but we have to go do it, right? We have to walk through it, and then he empowers us and takes us. So I love that. So let's look at a couple of the areas that we might want to change. And then, guys, you saw what Casera, who am I talking about? He
I don't know.
posted. We'd love to hear um, what's in something in your life that you'd like to change. Put it in a comment. What is it that you're struggling with? And we're talking about things like physical well-being, financial, relationships, careers. What is it that you children? What's something that you would like to change and you just haven't been able to, and you would love some help, some real practical stuff? You're praying to God every day, you're doing this, but for some reason something's just not changing. And that, I know that there's cases in that in mind. Some of it is, for me, I just got to get honest with myself and do what I know I need to do. Maybe that's you, that it's time, because we're going to talk about, everyone says they have reasons. We call reasons
excuses.
Right. And that sounds hard, but I embrace that, Alicia. When I give you a reason for why I'm not doing it, it's just an excuse in many cases.
It is. And that doesn't mean you have to do this or that. Let me clarify. Like,
right.
I don't feel like going to the gym. Fine. Can you go for a walk? Can you do 10 push-ups? It's not either I don't go or I run a marathon, because that's how I lived. And that's not, there's 50 million other things you could do. Right. And like, be honest with yourself. Like, well, why don't you want to go? Are you sick? I mean, like, don't just stop. Like, there's more to it. Be honest. Look at your stuff.
And you don't have to stop going to Starbucks, but maybe you cut down a little bit because of the finances.
Yeah.
It's really expensive. And these are the things we can learn about, right? I mean, some of us don't. They're $4 a coffee.
Yeah. And if that, like if you go every day, then maybe go to 4 times a week. Or, same with everything. Like if you need to cut down on something, it doesn't mean it's none. It could be, in my case, but you could like baby step it.
Right. Growing. And if that's been identified again as a growth area for you, if finances have been an issue, there's really some ways, guys, to get a handle on finances and debt. People have gotten out of huge amounts of debt in relatively short periods of time by just employing some very basic, straightforward tactics that are readily available. And we'd love to help with some of that. People come to us, all right, I'm living in the go now. I need to get my finances straight. I need to get my relationship straight. My career and my job is no good. What can I do? We want to help you guys and say, okay, from our experience, you got God behind you. You got a new manager. You're not being driven by all your old character defects. Let's get your mindset changed.
Right. There's some things in the chat we might want to grab, like forgiveness is a challenge, Anna Louise says. So does that mean forgiveness for others? Are you holding resentments, or is it forgiveness for self and you just need a new perspective switch? If you can give us some more clarity, maybe we can like dissect that. Self. Okay. What would you say, Tom, about that?
Well, I mean, it's funny. We're getting those, expectations and forgiveness. I mean, those are things we want to change. We were kind of hoping for like real thing, like life things that you want to change. But I get it. Those things need to change. In the transforming of your mind and praying and turning it over every day, forgiving yourself, understanding that you're valuable and you're worth it, and that your new manager will strengthen you. I think you've got to.
You know what? It's all connected now that you said that, because if she's not forgiving herself, then she's going to have a different attitude toward finances, nutrition, wellness, and stuff. So it is important to start there.
And with Wesley, if you place in expectations on people and they don't do it, that stops you from your growth and being effective. I mean, what do they say? Expectations are premeditated resentments.
Yes, I love that.
And I think that's one thing that we get gifted with when we get in recovery is low expectations, because that leads to judgment, and we generally become much less judgmental, I find.
Right.
We have
And
a
I
lot more grace.
feel like you guys, we're like, okay, placing expectations, that's a problem. Okay. But like, is it really affecting your life? And are you really looking at it right now? And is it because you want things to be done like this and they're not? Are you placing your stuff on other people? And I think, I mean, it could be a huge barrier to relationships, for one. So I would say, like, with these things, what are you doing about them? Are you practicing 10, 11, 12 in those things, rather than like next month we do it again and they're like, yeah, placing expectations is a problem. I go, okay. Let's do 10, 11, 12. Let's do something. Not saying it's going to go away completely, but I feel like that's even a thing that could be talked about. Like,
Right.
don't just expect
My
or
husband won't
expect.
take the garbage out. I've told him
Right.
he needs to take the garbage out every day at 5 o'clock. All right. So he doesn't take it out now. So now, right, what do I do? Step 10, I look down and I go, I had an expectation. What character defect is that of mine? What is it that doesn't work? My side of the street, right?
Mhm.
And
And look at his side. Maybe he worked 12 hours straight or whatever. Put yourself in his shoes. Maybe you start taking the trash out and let him do something else. If it's bothering you so much, you do it.
right, is it really intolerance moving back in? Is it more impatience moving back in? Is
Procrastination
it
or
procrastination
perfectionism.
moving back in? Why is it that is it so important for this person to do what you want them to do?
Right.
You know,
We need to really
and
be honest with that. And then maybe it is a boundary, right? They said they would and they're not. Then have a conversation with them about it if appropriate, not like, you said you would and you never did, and that's not
Mhm.
helpful at all.
Yeah. It's not helpful. And then um, I'm reading comments. Sorry, guys. Um, and then you're right. The whole communication style of, okay, so when you don't take the garbage out, this is how it makes me feel.
Well, I wouldn't say makes me feel.
This is
It's
how
not
I feel.
right. When you
When,
try make it mean this, because it's stories
yeah,
that you're telling yourself. No one can
right,
make you feel nothing. That's a thing that we need to take out of
right.
our
I
vocabulary.
feel like you're not listening to me. I feel like you don't value the things I value. I feel like you're not working towards, and that usually will start a conversation that may end up with, oh, it makes sense then when I don't take the garbage out, you feel this. And
Right.
someone might say, well, I don't care. The garbage can wait. I'm more interested in bouncing the checkbook. Don't you understand that has to be done too, right? These are these things. And unless we're talking about it, we don't know.
No, completely. I think it's all miscommunication or not said at all. Resentments
Right.
build when we don't even know what's going on in our own husband's head about taking the trash out many times. And then
Right.
maybe you start taking the trash out and he takes on another thing. Or, I mean, there's so many options, right? It's not him, or there's different ways to look at it, I think. Just with communication would open up so much other things, I think.
Right. And Wesley talks about lending money and expecting being paid back. And then when it isn't paid back,
That's a tricky one. I would
that's a
say
tricky one.
don't lend money.
Mhm.
Don't lend money. They can't afford it. They don't need it.
So we've talked about, those are some really practical ways of dealing with some of these things that are resentments, which we are not resentful anymore, right? But we do resent once in a while. Let me say that again. Your nature is not resentful, but you do get a resentment once in a while. That's the mistakes they talk about in step 10 that we have to keep on top of. So what if we changed our mindset as we grew in effectiveness to be of maximum service to God, and our mindset now changed, like you and I were just talking about, Alicia, with the garbage. And instead of saying it's them problem, it's a me problem. And why do I need the garbage out so much? And if I do, why don't I just take it? And what is going on with this other person? So I was using my old mindset. My old mindset was, I went to retreat, I come home, I'm controlling, he should just know. Why won't people just do what I say that they need to do? Because I'm using all my old parameters. Let me read to you what a good definition of mindset. You know this one, Alicia. It says, your mindset is a set of beliefs that shape how you make sense of the world and yourself. It influences how you think, feel, and behave in any given situation.
Think about how important that is. It influences your thoughts, feelings, behaviors. That's everything. That's all our mindset. If you're scarcity mindset, then everything's going to not be enough, never enough. And if you're open to things or negative, it affects everything. It's like really important what our thoughts are leading us to do and feel. And not saying it's easy to change.
Yeah, we almost always, I would say 90% of us that leave a retreat or leave this program have some level of fixed mindset.
In some areas.
In some of it, we've been programmed by our culture, our nature, our town. You know, you guys all need to be deprogrammed on pumpkin spice. I mean, you're just all wrong.
Would you say an opinion about something is a fixed mindset, even if just because you don't agree with it?
No, an opinion, it's when you say it as a fact. This is that. I think if you tell it with it, in my opinion, you're leaving it open. You're not
so in my opinion, CrossFit is a good idea. Once a week. And you don't agree. So is that's an opinion. See,
yeah, that's an opinion. But the fact is,
there's no fact about it.
CrossFit is the most damaging exercise program out there. It hurts more people
I don't know about
than
that.
all of them put together.
If you're smart and not ignorant about working out and listening to your body and know that that's a fact, though I don't have stats on that, I'm choosing to go once a week.
So the interesting thing about this, and Alicia and I will fight, and I'm just, the way I've opened my mindset is I'm just okay with her being wrong about that. But her tactic is, guys, she just shuts up and she'll just look away and just walk. It'll be over.
And then I just say,
peace out. Right. She wants to know nothing.
Whatever.
So later, I just sent her my orthopedics numbers and stuff so she can call and keep those doctors employed, you know, fixing her and all of her issues into. So let's talk. There's a fixed and a growth mindset. And guys, I'm watching this whole forgiveness thing. I get it. You're having trouble forgiving. It's hard because we've had hurts. We've been damaged. And forgiving someone shows a lot of grace. But what's the mindset we're working from, right? Where are we? Have we grown in our effectiveness and understanding? Are we growing? Are we using that 10 and 11? Are we reading and teaching? Are we learning and letting God thoughts and his actions and his influences rule us, right? The fixed and the growth mindset, right? If you have a fixed mindset, listen to this, guys. You may believe that your abilities are fixed traits and therefore can't be changed. You may also believe that your talent and intelligence alone leads to success and effort is not required. I think that's really interesting because people will say, well, they're good because they were just born that way. They're just really smart. And I was never good at school, right? We hear those things. Neither was I, guys. I got C's and D's in high school, but that had nothing to do with me being able to do it.
Or I've always been and
Right.
I can't because you're like, that's in the past. No.
So, and that effort is not required. Notice that it doesn't say hard work. It says effort. And we'd love to talk a little bit about that. We're going to run right out of time today.
Is good.
Right. A growth mindset says you believe that your talents and abilities can be developed over time through effort and persistence. All right. Effort and persistence, not hard work and pain. Effort and persistence. And that people with a mindset don't necessarily believe that everyone can become Einstein, but they can try. They do, however, believe that everyone can get smarter, more talented, or work towards being more forgiving.
Yes.
Progress, not for perfection.
Right.
But I think we can work towards being more forgiving. I can learn to do that. I want to work more. I want to challenge myself. I won't fail. I can do this. Are things that
right. And actively take action on, like you guys are saying, with forgiveness. Like, talk to your sponsor. Do you have a sponsor? Pray about it. Listen to a podcast on it. Go to meetings, share about it. And that's all we can do, actually.
yeah, it's
Are
resentment.
you working on it? Look at it. Like, is it for others, for yourselves? Why? Is it expectations? Is it like, look at all the stuff. I love all that stuff.
All right, Jane.
I'll help you.
Right. Hashtag recovered, guys.
I live for that.
Right.
Let's look at it all.
So these are really important conversations, and we get into more of this than you would think, guys. And we want to be able to help when people come away and say, I want to change careers. Let's help you go to school. I can't get out of debt. Let's help you get out of debt. I am having so much trouble losing weight. I've always been this way. We don't believe that that's true, that there are things that we all can do. Right. I want to improve my physical capabilities because I want to be of maximum service to God and the people around us. When I say, hey guys, you want to come to on such a trip with me? Isn't it the last thing you'd want to do is have some physical ailments that are due to sedentary lifestyle or whatever stop you from going and doing God's work? I really feel that way a little bit, Alicea. And we don't want to go down the exercise rabbit hole. I know we might have to do one whole one on it because you and I want to so badly go down that rabbit hole.
Exercise, I don't care about. It's the nutrition.
Oh my gosh, we'll need to go down to nutrition. But I do a lot of my training in the working out. It's to stay flexible, it's to stay healthy and to stay movement so I can jump on the airplane and go where I have to go. I can come and go. I can do my thing. And I can take a little bit of stress on it and still keep going. I don't have to sleep perfectly every night on a good bed. I'm ready to go so that where I'm called, I can go.
Because
that's me.
You're not full of eating garbage.
And that too, right?
We'll just stop me now. Stop. Sugar is the bad mood food. How about that?
Anna and Wesley say they've been trying to lose weight. You got a message, Alicea.
Call me.
I made just a small little change and lost 10 pounds. And I didn't change my workout at all. I just changed how I ate. And it dropped the hardest 10. It was the hardest 10 too. That last 10 where they say, or those people, of course, don't tell me it can't happen. Then I'm going to do everything I can to make it happen. And I didn't go to CrossFit even once.
Whatever. You don't even need to exercise to lose weight, you guys. How about that?
Well, in most cases, it's not the exercise that creates the weight loss.
In all the cases.
So some of you that hate the gym, you should be jumping up and down right now. You don't have to do it.
But wait. Let's go back to that. Whether it's nutrition, relationships, or whatever, it's the mindset that we need to get right. It's not, we know how to, we know we're not eating right. I mean, do a log of food for 3 days. You know what you're doing. It's not that. It's not knowing the things. It's the excuses that we say that keep us from doing the things. Oh, it's too hard. Oh, I can't. I tried before. I don't even care. That's what's getting in our way. We do care. So stop saying you don't.
Yeah, it's true. If you need more education, there's education out there in their schools. If you're in debt, there's ways to get out of debt. If it's relationship, there's a way to do it. If it's nutrition and health, there's a way to do it.
But you
So
gotta
there
do
are
it.
solutions. And what's your mindset to do it, right?
It's
Well,
the excuses that get in the way.
of whatever it is. And it's baby steps, guys. But we'll talk 1 second about commitment versus motivation, right? So motivation, if you rely, I think this is probably something we could say as a fact. If you rely on doing anything about being always motivated to do it, you're never going to finish. You're never going to start because you're not. I think motivation cannot be the thing you rely on.
Motivation is not required.
Right.
It's not.
Right. So a lot of the stuff I do is much more about commitment than it is about motivation. I've decided, number one, I've decided I need it, whatever it is, right? I've looked at my step 10. I've looked at my life. I've prayed about it. It's something that I need and I want to do. I've created a plan, and we didn't even get into goals. And I've created short-term goals using the SMART method: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time dependent. I've made a little plan, and then I just stick to it because I made a commitment. Am I perfect? No, that's why we have step 10. And we apply that over the top of it. But getting committed and getting our mindset changed that we can achieve, those are the things. If you asked me what it was about me, that's what it was, Alicea. I just decided I can do anything. And as I did do anything, it's fueled all the rest of the stuff.
Exactly. You're providing evidence that you can do the thing, and then you feel better and you're getting the results that you wanted, and then it just makes you do it more.
So the next one, we'll talk about goal setting. I think we'll talk more about how to do that. If people are interested, we'll talk about that.
On Facebook Live, you mean?
Yeah, on Facebook, on Recovery Live, yeah. And that
Yeah.
whole idea of this, I just want to get a little bit better, or do I want to be better?
Right. I need to say something about cabbage diet because if it's not sustainable, it's shouldn't be a thing. Just saying. And so if that's what I think it is, of like eating cabbage and drinking cayenne pepper and lemon juice for a week, I would say that's not a thing. Don't do it. Eat real food. Get rid of crap.
Look at Anna. We've been hitting the gym 4 days a week, but get distracted by the massage chairs and the tanning beds.
Meaning that they tan and massage instead.
Instead, yeah.
Well, that's self-care. Well, it doesn't have to be
gosh,
a bad thing.
You're letting them off the hook. You know, I don't even know if my gym has any of that because I never go to that
Mine
stuff.
does not.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, healthy lifestyle, living in the go, putting these steps to work in practical ways in our lives, and having that God we took on in step 3 really show us how to do it, and taking advantage of everything that the world and our brains and the talents and skills that others have in order to help us improve our lives in every category of our life. It's what we call living in the go. We'd love to talk more about it. We'd love to help everyone in any way to overcome whatever it is that you haven't, that you want to get better in your life, that you feel like you need improvement on, and just start someplace and just keep moving. Just like our own conception of God, if we need to start there, all we do is say, don't stay there. Wherever you are, don't stay there. Let's work it. I have a huge student loan debt, but I'm working on it little by little.
Yeah, I have relationship things from the wreckage of my past with my kids and my mom, and still making amends and planning amends. And I've been sober a long time, you guys, so it's still a work in progress. And stepping in that fear and sharing and going to meetings, like people see me and they think like I'm not an introvert, and I so am. And yeah, so and I want to be a person who is able to small talk and be approachable. And it's important to me, and I don't have motivation to do it, but I'm doing it because it's important. And I'm getting results. I'm showing evidence that it works. So whatever the area is, I think Maybe ask yourself, like, what areas do I need some work in? Or ask your spouse what they think. That would be a brave move. Ask each other and be open to their feedback because they're going to be speaking the truth. What else?
Hashtag recover, Jonathan Klein.
I hate my dad. What does that mean? We got rid of hate. Remember?
Yeah.
There might be some work that needs to be done in that.
We do. All right. Well, we're going to do it. Let us know, guys, if you want more. We're going to talk a little bit more about how to put this new manager in the driver's seat of our lives and have him show us how to grow and break those old habits and routines and create new ones that are healthy and lead us into all the success that we wanted. All right. Lisa Casera, let's see. Hashtag we covered. How many are going to be on there? Alicia, thanks for coming on today. I'll see you next week in Nevada City, and where we're going to spread the message, and we're going to be teaching everybody how to live in the go and be recovered and start a new life of freedom. So have a great weekend, Alicia, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Now we're going to do our shirt giveaway. How many hashtag recovered keep coming on now? There's Francine. Matt joined us. Hey, Matt. How many do we have now? 13. We need a few more. Let's go. Hashtag recovered. Who else is not in already? $13. Last go. Here we go. All right, Casera, go for it. Who will win today? Christina Grant. There you go. Send us your address in the chat, and Lisa will send a shirt out to you. Congratulations. Let's do golf clap for Christina. Yay. All right, guys, another great show. Very important subject for me, just because I had to put all these things in place in order to get my life back. I went out and did it, guys. I looked up for the strength, and then I looked out to go out and do it. And I took the steps and did what I needed to do. And I'll continue to do that. Nevada City this weekend. If you're in California, guys, or really anywhere in the world, we'd love to see you. There are some financial aid left. Remember, please reach out to us. Reach out to Casera or myself, and we'll hook you up if you need it. It's fine. It's need based, but if you need it, we don't want to turn anyone away. After that, if you're in the New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania area, guys, come to see us at Schooley's Mountain. It's going to be great. We have a hayride and a bonfire. It's going to be fabulous. And in January, we do have the virtual retreat. We are going to do a big virtual retreat in January, guys. So that's another one for all of those people that we know that need that New Year's resolution to do it. So thanks, everybody, for joining us today, 9th of September. We'll be celebrating 9/11 on Sunday as we remember what happened. And again, our condolences and our hearts go out to all of our partners over in the UK with the death of the Queen. Have a great weekend, guys, and we'll see you next Friday, coming to you live from Nevada City. Alicia and I will be together. Have a great weekend.